Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the Slumber Party. So here I am. It is pretty close to 1 o'clock in the morning here in Bangor, Maine, and I am getting ready to start myself getting adjusted to night shift because in less than 24 hours I have to do my first night shift at my new hospital. And so I have spent 2 days during the day training, mind draining videos, web training, that kind of thing. I can't complain. I mean, I know the job hazards of being a travel nurse, and this is one of them. The first week always sucks. Always. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen the same videos on hand washing and HIPAA and bloodborne pathogens. You get to see it all over again if you move every 3 months like I have. So luckily between the last 2 contracts it was the same. It wasn't the same facility, but at least it was the same company, so they'll let me skip a lot of it because I'd already done it within the last year. So but anyway, so my first day, I get there and there is like a huge number of travel nurses. I think my group was like 30, close to 30 travel nurses, some of them from the same company as me, others from other companies. Some people it was their first trip, some people it was their millionth, and me, I'm kind of right in the middle. Well, not really, this is only my 3rd contract. So this will be, you know, I've done it for about 6 months. And so I met people from all over the country: Florida, New Mexico, Maryland, Indiana. Met a mother-daughter couple from Indiana that they travel together, and they work in different parts of the hospital, but they get contracts together and they live together, that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool. Got to see a really big hospital. I'm currently, I don't want to say the name of the hospital just in case that's against any rules or something, but it's a big hospital. About the same size as the one I was in with Joplin, about 400 beds. And you know, I don't intend on trashing the hospital or anything because every hospital has good points and bad points. Just a point of reference that I work there. So anyway, enough about that. So since the last time we talked, got my handy dandy little notebook out, and I've got 3 projects now to work on. I would show you the scarf I finished, but it's in the car right now. I accidentally left it down there. I wore it to work this morning because it's still kind of chilly in the morning. It was like 28 when I went to work this morning. Still a little nippy around here. It's nice in the sunshine, but once you get out in that wind, it bites. So I am like wearing hat, mittens, scarf, jacket, the whole 9 yards. So, and by the time I get done at night, it was, you know, warmer, so I didn't need it, so I left it down there. But anyway, I'm going to try to have that scarf to show you in the next video. It's kind of short. I only did 1 skein, and so I probably should have made it longer, but I'm currently experiencing yarn shortage. As I talked about in my last video, I left a lot of my stuff at home, which is not a bad thing. It just forces me to focus on what I actually did bring before I buy more stuff, and you know, forces me to focus on what I have at hand. That's another thing, you know, it's like I have such a small space. My husband and I are sharing an apartment. I'm used to having a 3-bedroom house with 2 living rooms and a huge kitchen, and you know, I've had, well, the second living room is for my yarn storage, which is pretty much all full wall-to-wall yarn or fiber, one or the other, because I spin and knit and crochet. So and I mean, I do other stuff too, but the majority of the space was filled with yarn. So, um, getting off track, I finished the scarf. Then I was also working on my dog's sweater because he gets chilly too. So I've got that right down here. I have finished quite a little bit on it. And I love how the color changes are not all in the same place because I accidentally didn't start them in the same place in the skein. So they're kind of shifting gradually opposite of each other, and I'm using two skeins. I'm using just a free pattern I found online for just a simple dog sweater. I don't have my label for my yarn. I know it's a Lion Brand Mandala. I think it's in the colorway Warlock. Could be wrong on that. I do have another skein somewhere, so someday I might tell you what the actual name of this is. But right now, this is from a dog. And he might come up here and join us here in a little bit because he's still prowling around. He doesn't understand why I'm out here and my husband's in the bed. Because for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, my husband and I have had the same sleep schedule. We've been going to bed at night, getting up during the daytime, or we've been traveling. I mean, the three of us have been pretty well inseparable for the last couple weeks in the transition here. And then all of a sudden I started work. So Shadow's still trying to figure out what's going on. The other thing I'm working on is the Peppermint Twist Afghan. These lovely little things. I have a bunch of them. Oh, well, I've got about 26 of those blocks done, and I'm really glad that I didn't forget that particular project because somebody is actually paying me to make that for them. So of all of my projects, that was the most important. And so it's currently sitting on my living room table, which is a bonus. I didn't have a living room table at home. Don't ask me why I didn't. I just never had one. But now I can, like, I force myself to look at it and see my progress every day. So I'm actually kind of enjoying having this living room table thing, and you know, I don't have to pick up all my stuff. I can just leave it there and just look at it. And the last thing I'm working on is my spinning. The little thing's getting a little fatter. I haven't weighed it recently. The last time I weighed it, I had about, I'm thinking 21 grams done, which is not hardly even an ounce, I don't think. But that's the thing. I mean, I spin it on this little device, so I don't get a whole big quantity of yarn when I do this. I think the most I've ever done is just a smidge under 2 ounces. So not getting huge projects out of my hand spun. But I thought I might show you this too. This is what I use to spin. This is what it looks like before I spin it. And I've dyed this myself. It was like an ivory color when I started. And I dyed this before I left home. I won't be doing much dyeing in this apartment that I don't own. I'm only renting it. I don't want to dye anything permanently. My kitchen sink at home is mine. And, you know, I don't mind dyeing that, but something that belongs to someone else, well, that's a whole nother matter. I am gonna have to try to learn how to do things differently because, like I said, I mean, I moved 1,700 miles and I had to leave a lot of things at home. And I mean, just simple things like my salad spinner that I use to wring the water out of my hand spun. I left that at home. Yeah, I could buy another one here, but the whole point, I guess, of this journey is to, as far as crafting goes, is to learn how to do without so much stuff. I mean, yeah, I brought my basic tools, my crochet hooks, my knit needles. I probably could have lived without all 3 kinds of knitting needles because I brought my circulars, my double pointeds, and my straights. Probably didn't need all of them, but because I mean you can technically do all 3 on double pointed. I mean the circulars make it nice if you have a long thing like shadow sweater, but I mean like for instance, for to use straight knit needles, if I didn't have knitting needles, I would just take a double pointed knitting needle and put an end cap on it. And there you go. You got a knit needle that only has 1 point now. You just have to be careful not to knock that end off. And some caps are better than others. I found these, I think these are like clover caps. Found them at Joann's. And they stick on there really, really well. They are hard to get off. So, I mean, that in a nutshell, that could have taken up at least one of my sets of knitting needles. But I'm kind of attached to my tools. And so, as I shared, I forgot my suitcase. I had a lot of my crap in it. So my husband was feeling really bad. And he's like, I'm so sorry. We should have double checked. I'm like, oh, no, it's not your fault. If I'd have really wanted it that bad, I would have made sure it was in the car. So he's like, oh, no. We're going to find you some more stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I know where Joann's is. I know where Hobby Lobby is. I know where Walmart is. And I know where Michael's is. But I've resolved I'm not buying any more yarn until I finish Shadow Sweater and the Peppermint Twist Afghan. Mark my words. Here's the proof in this YouTube video. I'm not buying any more yarn until I have finished those 2 projects. But I didn't say anything about fiber. So there is a lovely little fiber shop. Lupine Fiber Arts, I believe is what it's called, or One Lupine Fiber Arts. So I found some marvelous fiber. And I'll put the link to their shop down below because they have all sorts of nifty stuff. This particular fiber is 100% merino wool. And although I don't have all the tools that I want to make this fiber work, I'm going to figure out how to make it work without it. Actually, that fiber I can do. That's, I can do that fiber. This fiber, however, this is going to be the challenge. Because I got 1 pound of, it's kind of clean, not straight off the sheet, but it's still got a lot of stuff to work out in it. But you can see that it is still pretty sheepy. There is some veggie matter in it, which it even still smells like sheep too, but it doesn't smell as bad as when it's first sheared off. And it's still, you can still feel the lanolin in it. So I'm looking forward to working with this because I have not worked with this level of rawness yet. However, I don't have a picker, I don't have a flicker, I don't even have any combs, I don't have cards, all I have in the way of spinning is this little thing right here, and it's not going to be very helpful. There's Shadow. There's my buddy coming up here. He smelled the sheep. That is Shadow. He is technically my service dog, but he's not passed his test. So, he's just, I guess he'll forever be a service dog in training. Anyway, back to my sheep wool. So it's going to be a challenge trying to figure out how to maneuver that and work that without things to pick the wool which I've seen YouTube videos of people just working it by hand. So that may be what I do. I really want to try to incorporate it with some of the other wool that I got, the colorful wool that comes in 1.5 million colors. I got 2 packs of that, by the way. This is the other one. They're very similar colors. I try to get 2 that were almost alike, but when you dye things, nothing is ever alike. It doesn't even if you dye it in the same pot, no 2 pieces come out the same. So that is about all I have with the crafting thing. As I mentioned, I'm just trying to keep myself awake because I start at 7 p.m. on Thursday, which technically today is already Thursday. I'll try not to go to bed till at least 3 or 4. If I can make it till 5 or 6, I'll be doing good. But drinking my delicious coffee, which is another thing I wanted to talk about while I was here. I didn't get to talk about this the other day. This is the coffee I'm drinking, which it's going to look backwards to you because, cameras and everything. But it is Death by Cinnamon Maple. And I bought this at a curious little gift shop on the way here. It's in Pennsylvania, and it's called The Strange and Unusual, I believe. They make really good coffee, by the way. If you are ever in Pennsylvania, Kingston, Pennsylvania, I'll also put the link to that down below, to their gift shop. You can actually buy their coffee online. But if you're ever in Kingston, Pennsylvania, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Kingston, Pennsylvania. I had to remember what state I was in when I got that. I remember it was just off a bigger city. So it was a suburb of a bigger city. Can't remember that right now. But anyway, I recommend stopping in there and seeing what they have and at least getting a cup of coffee, because it's like the best coffee I've ever had. I had a butterbeer latte, which was butterscotch and vanilla. But very friendly people, very nice people. So anyway, so if you have any questions, please put them below in the comments. You can always send me an email, which is noidlehands2019 at gmail.com, which will be in the link below. Because silly me, I didn't name my channel No Idle Hands. It's just my name. Shows you how new at this I am. But I've kind of run out of things to talk about right now. So if you have any suggestions about what you'd like to see, what questions you have for me as a nurse, a crocheter, a spinner, or whatever. I'm not crafty like my cousin, or I'm not gardeny. I don't have a green thumb like my cousin Neva, but I am still trying to get out and shoot video of things around me, and I'm going to try to figure out how to attach that into videos and future videos. I have a really good one of where I took my dog to the park the other day. My shadow boy made a really good video, but I'm still technically challenged as far as trying to get all this video stuff figured out. So I thank you for stopping by and listening to me rant and rave for almost 20 minutes. So if you like this channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, send your friends. I'm hoping that I can expand this channel into something awesome later on as I get more used to this. So, and there are tutorials coming. I just have to figure out how to do that too. So there are already 2 videos on my channel for left-handed and right-handed chain stitches. That's where it stopped. I don't know why, but one challenge to that is going to be getting some more yarn in this place before I can do very many tutorials. So, because right now I don't really want to do tutorials on red and white yarn, and have variegated yarn. So that's my color choices right now. I have Warlock or red and white. So I'll see y'all on the next video. Thanks for watching.